Hi guys, it's Zetsu here. Now, instead of playing a good class, today what I thought I'd do is check the forums, see what people think is currently the worst class in Guild Wars. And without a doubt, it seems it's the Ranger. So I went on a Ranger and I thought, hey, if I can do well as a Ranger, then I can do well as anything. And I had a look about, and personally I've played the Ranger quite a lot in the past, especially in the early days. I think short bow, the short bow is a great weapon, especially for condition damage builds. It's just that none of the other weapons for a Ranger seems to synergize very well with it. Yeah, synergize, that's right, I'm using big words. And yeah, if you think about it, the Warhorn is great as well. I mean, it works really well as a group sort of buffing tool, and the short bow is great for condition damage, but nothing else really. The longbow is the only build I can think of really is, I mean, for World v World it's pretty useful to be a power crit build, and the one-handed sword is okay for the same sort of use, but I've never been a fan. The axe is quite good for sort of AoE damage. In the best case scenario for the axe, it's kind of a 2-on-2. For the Ranger, I mean, his damage is not terrible, but it's just, there's no synergy in the class. It just doesn't really work. But anyway, I thought I'd roll a Greatsword build, since people seem to think Greatswords are the worst. I'm doing okay anyway. I mean, I see what they mean. On paper, the Greatsword has got a great skill bar. I mean, it's one of my favourites actually. It's just that the auto attack is not very good for chasing. The third hit of it seems to root you in the spot, and anyone just walking away from you can just get away. Not only that, but just to get a decent damage, you see this build, I mean the damage is pretty good, but I am fully glass cannoned. I mean, I see the glass, but I don't see the cannon. I'm using Berserker gear, and I'm just full crit chance. My crit chance with Fury up and my side yaw is about 85%, and you know, it is great, but I mean my HP is terrible, and not just my HP, my toughness is absolutely abysmal. By far the worst class Ranger for condition removal, and it's a shame because it's really fun, and it's actually really fun to play, especially in PvE, World v World even, it's pretty good. But yeah, anyway, back to the video. As you can see, I've decided to use the axe, and the axe, I find the main use is just keeping yourself long distance in a group of enemies, not getting targeted too much. Really cool for taking out mesmer clones, because I mean the damage is good for an AoE weapon for what it is. It's just, again, it doesn't really work with condition builds. Yeah, and as far as the Greatsword is concerned, there are some great skills. I mean, it's got the best sort of utility of any Ranger weapon. As you can see, it's got, I mean, the auto attack is decent damage, it's got a nice range, it's just the sort of third hit that sort of roots it. It sort of lets it down quite a lot. The leap is a really good skill as well, as I just saw, because I just realised I was just being a bit of a div and attacking randomers, so I went back into the fray. Yeah, again, it's got a really cool shielding ability. I'm sure you can tell by now already that I'm really not a professional Ranger player. I mean, I'm pretty good at Guild Wars PVP, but you know, only on Engineer and Necro. I've really very little experience playing Ranger, but I'm trying to adapt as best as I can, play as well as I possibly can with the class. I'm really enjoying the days on the 5-hit, and especially as it sort of is a bit of a gap closer as well. Nothing like the number 3, but it's still pretty good. The number 4 skill is brilliant. The shield, it's just knowing when to use it. It's really great if you see an incoming burst, or you see a bit later I'm on very low HP and a warrior is about to use some charging attack or something, and I'm like, well, this is a great time to use it. Yeah, again with the Ranger is, I find that a lot of the DPS comes from the quickness, and the quickness is really good, but I just find myself feared and knocked around. All these crowd control skills just really do a number on me. Here I'm in a situation where I think there's a Necro and a Warrior, and as you can see, I've put all the AoE flame damage signets, and they work quite nicely. Just yeah, so as I said, for this build, a 2v2 or 3v3 is probably the best situation where you're getting all your damage out, but not crowd control too much. Yeah, this guy's proper annoying and just seems to be invulnerable most of the time, so I take a little step back, put up my shield, but he just runs off and it doesn't work. There's still two of them around, and one of them's down, but I want to take this one down before I try to finish the other guy. So I see that he uses his quickness, I try to evade, and I do an okay job. He comes back up, and I just sort of, you know, I'm pretty sure I'm going to win at this point because he's got hardly any HP. So I'm just taking the time, keeping myself nice and buffed. Yeah, so personally, I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do after the changes, because Ranger has a lot of potential, and I just wish it had some better utilities, some better curing abilities. I mean, it's for someone that wants to be in the fray. Well, as a greatsword, I mean, you definitely need something better for condition removal. I was quite happy how I did here actually with this guy, since I started out with such a small amount of HP. Yeah, I mean, the greatsword, I really enjoyed it personally. I'm not sure how viable it would be as a tournament build at the moment, just because it is so squishy. But it's a lot of fun, and isn't that what the game's about in the end of the day? Right, so trying to get back in the fray. I was trying to get a perfect game here. By what I mean is no deaths and plenty of kills, as sort of one of the classes that someone said is basically crap, and I'll go along with that. I mean, it's not that it's terrible, it's just there's no synergy, like I said, and if you check how often classes are used, Ranger really is the least used class. I did a bit noob there. I should have used the Signet as a cure, but what I find is that because of how long the cooldowns are on some of these, the only cure that I have, I don't like to lose the passive cure, so I just try to escape, get out of there. Unfortunately, I keep getting stunned, and there's a Mesmer here as well now, so I switched to the axe for a little bit of crowd control, but I get, you know, I'm just a bit overwhelmed because I already had low HP. There's a bit of a buggy action there where I tried to escape, and I'm not really sure what happened there. Try to heal myself, but I get a daze and it sort of ruins me. And again, sort of ruined by the condition damages. They really are the worst enemy for me. Hit by a 18-second respawn, so I was almost crying at this point. I thought, well, we've pretty much won the game already, and I'm in second place, and as a Greatsword Ranger, I mean, Captain Useless, I was pretty pleased with myself. I think one thing the Ranger would benefit from is maybe if some of the pets had some more usable cures. I mean, the bear has a cure, but it only cures one condition. I kept this bit in the video because I thought I was doing pretty well for a VS there, but yeah, it's the end already, so I thought I'd just chase him for a bit of fun.
You've captured the quarry.
Whack, whack, whack. Some nice bit of shielding. Yeah, take a look at my sword. Well, anyway, I actually really enjoyed this build. It's not exactly great, but you know, it kind of works for what it is. If you play sensibly and keep your distance, maybe you can do okay with it. I just wanted to see what it would be like now, and then hopefully when the next patch comes out and they change a lot of the Ranger utilities and hopefully increase some of the usability of some of the weapons, I really want to go back to it and see how I do then. Thank you for watching, and see you later.